This will be for the Khan Academy assignment table data. This is in the SAT math section of Khan Academy. A tree specialist is called in to treat a large apple orchard of problematic trees exhibiting multiple issues. Each tree is analyzed and assigned a primary issue. The table above partially represents the tree specialist's findings. If fungus was the primary issue for 3/4 of the Gala apple trees, how many Gala apple trees had parasites as the primary issue? Okay. Fungus was the primary issue for 3/4 of the Gala apple trees. Let's see. So here's the Gala apple trees. All right. And if we trace this to the end, the total of Gala apple trees is 1,600. All right. So fungus was 3/4 of that. So in place of fungus, we're going to do 3/4 times 1,600. So on the calculator, just do 3 times 1,600 and divide by 4. And I get 1,200. So right here for the Gala apple fungus, I'm going to write 1,200. All right. And now we can see right here for bacteria, they give us the totals on the bottom. All right, most of these tables are set up the same in that the totals for the columns are on the bottom, the totals for the row is on the right. All right, so the total for bacteria is 687. So if we subtract these two from 687, we'll get the total for bacteria and Gala apples. All right, so I'm going to do 687 minus 341 minus 280. All right, and I'll do that on the calculator. And I get 66. So right here for bacteria, I'm going to fill in 66. Okay, if you want to double check that, just add these three and make sure they add to 687. All right, finally, in order to find the Gala apple and parasites, the total is 1,600. I just subtract these two from 1,600. All right, so that's going to be 1,600 minus 1,200 minus 66. All right, 1,600 minus 12, that's 400 minus 66, that's 340, 334. All right, so that should be correct. 334 plus 66 is 400 plus 1,200 is 1,600. So there you go. 334. And let's see, it is multiple choice, so 334. All right, an analyst at an environmental agency is investigating the usage of recycled papers. The analyst's preliminary findings are tabulated at the left. If exactly half the food related paper product companies fell into the 75 to 100% category, what is the expected probability in the 75 to 100 range was a food-related paper product? Okay, half the food was in the 75 to 100 average. Let's see. All right, so it said half of these fell into the 75 to 100 range. Okay, so the total for these is 40. All right, and half of 40 is right here. So, of course, half of 40, or 40 divided by 2 is just 20. So this range right here is just going to be 20. And then they ask, what is the expected probability that a company in the 75 to 100 range was a food-related paper product? All right, so the probability that in this range it was a food-related paper product is just going to be 20 out of 54. All right, because we're limiting ourselves to this row right here, because it has to be in the 75 to 100 range. Okay, so it's just 20 out of 54. Divided by 2, that's 10. 54 divided by 2 is 27. Can't reduce that any further. So that's it, 10 over 27. All right, a logo designer looks at a sample of businesses to determine if they employ a primary graphical word-based or letter-based. Table represents if approximately 84% of businesses considered were founded within the last 20 years, then how many of them were founded in the last 5? All right, 84% were founded in the last 20 years. Let's see. All right, 84% were founded in the last 20 years. All right, this one is for the last 5 years. This one was for 5 to 20 years. So these right here have to be 84% of the total. All right, so 84% of 138 is going to be 0.84 times 138. I'll do that on the calculator. All right, rounding off to the nearest whole number, I get 116. All right, so these two combined have to be 116. So if I subtract 66 from 116, I just get 50. Okay, so there's a 50 right here. 50 plus 66 is 116, and that is 84% of 138. And then they want to know how many of them were founded within the last 5 years. Well, we got that total, okay? These are the companies that are founded within the last 5 years. If you trace it across, that's 50. And it says round your answer to the nearest whole number. So that's it, just 50. All right, some of these write-ups are too wordy. You don't need to read the whole thing. It says Dante found that 1/5 of the people who wanted cheese did not want sauce. Let's start with that. So here's the number of people that wanted cheese. 1/5 of those did not want sauce. Okay, so right here, it's going to be 1/5 of 20. All right, 1/5 times 20 is the same as 20 divided by 5, so that's just 4. So that's a 4 right here. And now we can easily just fill in the table. 4 plus what is 8? Well, this will just be 4. What plus 4 is 6? That will just be 2. What plus 2 is 18? That will just be 16. Okay, and you can see it works up and down vertically as well. So now we filled it in. What fraction of the table who wanted sauce also wanted cheese? Well, this is the row for the people that wanted sauce. So it's out of 18 people in the denominator. And what fraction of those who wanted sauce also wanted cheese? Out of the ones who wanted sauce, 16 wanted cheese. So it's going to be 16 out of 18. Divided by 2, that's 8. Divided by 2, that's 9. So it's just 8 over 9. All right, again, the write-ups are too lengthy. Just try to narrow it down by looking for the numbers. Given that 40% of 10th graders at his school prefer basketball, how many 10th graders at his school prefer football? Okay, 40% of the 10th graders prefer basketball. So this is 40% of the total. Okay, so 14 equals 40% or 0.40 of the total. All right, so just divide both sides by 0.40 in order to solve for t. It cancels here, and I'll do this on the calculator. And I get 35. All right, so this is 40% of the total, which is 35. And now we can fill in everything else. 35 minus 14, that's 21. All right, 156 minus 35, that's going to be 121. 121 minus 12, that's going to be 109. All right, and 109 plus 14 is 119, 123, and this is 33. So there you go. How many 10th graders at the school prefer football? 10th graders that prefer football, it's 109. So just click inside the box and type 109. Whoops, hold on. All right, I made a little mistake. It says that 40% of 10th graders prefer basketball. All right, so we're looking at this column here, and this is 40% of this total. All right, so 14 equals 40% of t. And we found t to be, let's see, if we divide both sides by 0.4, it cancels here, and I'll do this on the calculator. Okay, the total t is 35. So in place of that box, I'm going to write 35. All right, and then subtract 14, that's going to be 21. So how many 10th graders prefer football? 21. Okay, and that's the answer they got. So that was my mistake.